Hello and welcome to Dev Theory. In this video I'm going to go over some glitches and explain how they could possibly happen inside of a video game. Now I want to reach out and give a special thanks to Doom49, and this is a person who regularly provides glitches and comments on them and is absolutely hilarious. With that said, he's agreed to let me use some of his clips in my glitch videos so that I have some material to work with. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin looking at these glitches. Alright, so our first one comes from Battlefield, and as you can see, he's flying through the air. Now this is actually a pretty common type of air. Whenever a NPC begins to move, sometimes their movements cause conflicts with the speed of their environment. So what happens is that once the NPC's speed reaches above that of what their environment limits them to, they suddenly have a temporary time where there is no limit on speed. But once they enter an area that re-encapsulates that need for a lower speed, then they automatically go back down, and this causes the illusion that they're gliding through the air when they're actually just given a small boost of speed at the moment that they get stuck. Now here's another one that's actually pretty common. It's called an interruption of animation frame. And what you'll see is that he is in an animation frame, but he is immediately stopped by the environment because there's been an interruption in his animation frame. And the reason why this is actually a common error is because it doesn't take much to interrupt the animation frame. As you see, there's a truck coming out at the same time as the bullet is flying, and the two are something the computer needs to anticipate. So it interrupts the framing for just a split second, and that split second is all that it needs to interrupt the animation frame and cause this type of glitch. Now this next one comes from Mafia 3, and it's actually something that could be multiple different errors. If they did it on an animation frame, then obviously they're missing a key animation that stopped it from moving around in the circle. But my likely theory is that the object is actually moving on a mathematical circle, which requires a radius equation or a calculus equation, depending on how you actually built it yourself. Now, if this is true, what happened is in the compiler, when it compiled, it did not provide a complete and finished equation. This is actually pretty rare, but it does actually happen, and it's very difficult to stop. But like I said, this one has multiple different ways as to how it could happen, primarily because it is not a skeleton body, which requires you to have animations. The previous one was a skeleton body. So if the animation is interrupted on a skeleton body, since it has to require animation, then it has to glitch in that very specific way. But this one isn't one that has a skeleton.